All right, we're going to bring up Don Phillips.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I know nobody here probably knows who I am in this part of America, so what I'll just explain. I'm a producer and director of a TV series that I'm actually making at the moment called American Supernatural Uncovered. I'm also a paranormal investigative researcher. So today, you have to excuse my voice, I've got a very thick throat, which is not ideal obviously. Today I want to take you on a journey, which is the journey that I've been on since I got involved in paranormal. I'm hoping you find this extremely interesting. What I will say is if anyone's got any questions during this presentation, I know we've not got any mics, but I will come to you. Okay? Okay? Yes, Don? Come on, guys. There we go. There we go. Come on. Okay. So, first of all, just give you some kind of brief outline. That's my company, Raven Media Productions, and we'll just run the intro, give you just some idea about who I am and what I do, okay? And then we'll talk about that afterwards, okay?
Don Phillips' reputation and following is growing fast, gathering attention both within and outside the UK, within the paranormal research circles and communities. Inexplicable events coupled with their uncanny frequency under the ever-watchful eye of Steve Mirror are helping Don Phillips become possibly one of the most significant names among paranormal researchers this century. Nick Lockley, journalist for the Mirror Group, asked to join Don Phillips on one of his investigations.
I came here with a totally open mind, I did, and Don's right, there was a degree of scepticism. What I can say is things have happened that I can't explain. I'm hoping when everything's put together that more sense can be made. One thing that I will endorse now is Don has been absolutely open to the point of a fault. There certainly is nothing going on here, and at the moment I am struggling for answers. The one thing that isn't in doubt is that voices have been captured. That is a fact, and that is a fact that our readers will hear for themselves.
Down to meet with Don Phillips during the investigation. We've got quite a long drive ahead of us. Looking forward to it. It's going to be certainly a little bit different, this. Rarely am I involved with just paranormal investigation. I'm usually going in there to rationalise experiences as best I possibly can. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing this time, meeting up with Don Phillips, and together we're going to try and solve a couple of the mysteries that have been baffling science for a long, long time. And that is, does paranormal phenomena exist? And can we find evidence to suggest it's real?
Well, that was the strangest thing yet. I said my goodbyes. Don asked if anybody wanted to say farewell and recording. Well, I won't spoil it for you. I'll let Don play it now. This was the results.
Yeah, it's too close, isn't it?
Bye, good night, definitely.
I definitely could hear the words good night, bye. I'm just as perplexed as I was. It's not the words, and that doesn't happen very often, but as you can well imagine, it's a bit perplexing. No explanation for it this time.
Don was asked to investigate a converted barn by one of his clients who was reporting paranormal disturbances, and once again the evidence was overwhelming and inexplicable.
Okay, so earlier we heard a few voices. We heard from Andrew, we heard from Maggie, or it could have been Maggie. We also heard that Darryl not only fears for his own safety but also for his family. This is the kind of effects and emotional trauma that people go through when they're experiencing a genuine haunting. In a few moments, I'm going to put the lights out, speak to some spirits, and see if we can do what we need to do and actually get some real answers.
Reverend Lionel Fanthorpe is also convinced of Don's effectiveness, having studied the field for more than 50 years and being a former president of the Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena.
Don certainly seems to have a unique ability in this area, and having, as I said, worked with many psychic mediums over many years, I'm sure that what he is doing is absolutely honest, and I look forward to investigating his communications as well as whatever entities he may be communicating with.
Don's reputation spread. It caught the attention of Ben Jones, who was promptly invited along to a public session. Marie Chamberlain, one of Don's team members, describes to Ben her first experience of working alongside Don.
Black Lion in Northampton. It was about 2, 3 in the morning, I can't remember now, it's been a long time. And it was just me and Don in the whole building. And this is the first time I heard of Becky. And I heard a complete conversation between Becky and Don. Absolutely gobsmacked I was.
Now, what we did was Don played the recordings. He did some of these recordings with EVP or AVP, actual voice phenomena, he calls it. Some of them were extremely impressive, including one particular one, which you hear a number of men singing, like a male voice choir. There's another one in which you hear several young boys, sounds like young boys anyway, talking loudly and very clearly indeed. Extremely impressive. And I was actually there when that was recorded. I can assure you there were no noises, no sounds coming in at all. At that time we were all sitting there quietly when Don's pressing the record button.
Renowned parapsychologist Steve Merrer's first encounter on location with Don also left him with more questions than answers.
He was listening to what he believes is some type of communication from the spirits, and of course what's happened, the result of that is that Don not only picked out the right envelope, he also picked out the correct item that was in it. Well, it was an extremely difficult test, because I didn't just bring one envelope, I bought 3. You picked one envelope from the 3, and not only you picked the right envelope, it's also the right picture in that envelope as well. So statistically speaking, I couldn't even calculate that. It's phenomenal, it really is. And that was quite remarkable. And the results were, as far as I'm concerned, quite amazing. And the experiment was conducted, witnessed by third hand, and I don't know how to explain that. We're going to have to obviously conduct more tests. And all in all, with the photographs that we've got, the video footage, and the strange things that have been going on at this location,
Okay.
Don Phillips' reputation.
Okay, so the relevance of some of the things that are shown in that clip will become apparent as we go on. This is not all about look at Don Phillips. What this is about is this is sending a message out as to what is possible, what is real, and what is achievable when it comes to spirit communication and evidence-wise. Okay, so that's a little bit about me, that's a little bit about what I do. Okay. So where did it all begin? Like many people, I was around about the age of 7 when I had an experience which totally changed my life. Night time, just like any kid, about 7 o'clock in the evening, a certain time of year, it starts to get dark. There was a light outside my bedroom window, street light. It would just light up the bedroom enough so I could see. I don't remember the old picture I would have going down the top of the ceiling. This particular night I noticed for some reason I couldn't actually see the corner of this picture rail, and didn't think anything of it. It was a bit strange. Over the next 2 or 3 nights, I saw less and less of this picture rail. It was just dark. It was 1 or 2 nights that followed after that I realised it wasn't blacked out by shadows or anything. There was actually something there, and what it was actually doing very gradually over those nights is encroaching closer and closer to me, and the closer it came, the less I could see, because it was literally a black mass. To the point, eventually, it was here. I could literally see the whole thing. It was like the shape, the kind of texture of a brain. It was strange. I don't know what happened then, because as far as I was aware, I woke up the next morning. Wasn't frightened or anything, woke up the next morning, thought I fell asleep. It was very, very shortly after that, within a few days, I started hearing these strange whispers. Very unnerving, obviously as a child. As I got a little bit older, they got louder, they got stronger, and I obviously found out what it was. It was spirits, people talking, not necessarily to me, but communicating with each other, and I could actually hear them. And that in itself presented quite a lot of problems, especially at the age of 16 when you're sitting in an exam. You try and do your exams, and believe you me, all you can hear is. So that was strange. Now, that led me into the paranormal. I did an awful lot of research. I actually embraced it. Eventually, I set up a team called GSI Paranormal UK. I became quite aware of people that was having problems. Also, the way that was viewed by non-believers. I wanted to help these people, the genuine cases. So I would go around and literally, as you'll see later, prove that there's obviously paranormal phenomena taking place and help these people as well. Even if there is nothing taking place, but a person believes there's something taking place, it makes no difference to that person's life. It's still the same amount of fear, and it affects them equally, and I want to do something about that. Okay. So I did that for a number of years. I don't use labels like medium, psychic, or anything. I'm Don Phillips, and I do what I do. That's as far as I go with it. Okay. There was one case which was to quite literally change my life, and this was only 4 or 5 years ago. To that point, I'd attracted a lot of attention in the UK and certain places in the States, and a lot of attention of parapsychological departments like the Scottish Psychical Research, Scientific Institute of Parapsychology. Steve Merritt, who you saw on there. Now, I was getting a lot of stick at this point when I went public from skeptics, which is fine, okay, but rather than argue with them, I decided to surround myself with the very people that was there to debunk it and prove me wrong. Because to a lot of people, it's woo-woo, it's whatever. Steve, that was the first time Steve came out with me. Now, I asked him 3 times to come out with me. His response was, Steve is well known for debunking, and he makes it very public, and he's not a very popular person with certain people that make certain claims, because he will tell you the way it is, whether it's good or bad. So Steve turned me down 3 times because he couldn't believe what he was actually seeing on YouTube was actually real. In the end, he came out with me. He expected to be there for an hour, debunk it, do his report, etc., etc. We was there for 10 or 11 hours. Steve's words were, after 35 years doing what I'm doing, I might as well throw everything out the window and start again. Now that was a compliment to me. The guy was just totally almost lost the plot, because it's like, this can't happen. There was voices coming out of the air on my request. There was answering questions. So that's who Steve Mera was in that clip. Now, I did mention a few moments ago, one of the cases that totally changed my life. Right, I've got a little clip from that now. Again, there's a few minutes of video to watch, but it explains the case and what was going on there, and we'll talk about that afterwards. Okay? Okay, in fact, before we run that clip, I'll just explain very briefly. Up to this point, my spirit communications, I am and was renowned for. This point, I mean, people at this investigation, people said, oh, you've been under a spiritual attack. Something hit me and hit me hard. I didn't know what it was, and it's most apparent in the footage. So we'll watch that and we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, can we run the Council HQ investigation? This is an internal documentary.
GSI Oldby faced their latest mission. The local council offices in Wigston. This former Victorian family house with its winding staircases and nooks and crannies is a ghost hunter's dream. And Don and his crew have volunteered to help some spooked council workers.
Upstairs, you can hear children in what was the nursery. When you open the door, the voices stop.
Backstairs, by the shed, we've had babies crying, children playing.
People have seen the Grey Lady.
One of the servants' children fell down the back staircase and broke his neck. You can hear that sometimes.
I'll have a little walk around, see where it feels strongest, and then invite the spirits to come and join me and speak to me.
Okay, I was through with Channel 4 for a documentary. The cameraman, he'd been up a long time, we just having a general discussion about him being tired and needing a break, and then Paul, as far as I'm concerned, on me, Paul, hell let loose. Okay, can we do that? Okay. You mate, need a coffee. You're flagging already.
Yeah. Jet lag kicking in, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
Jesus! Jeez!
I wasn't expecting that, Nick. My God, I feel dizzy, mate.
Sit down. What happened? I've never seen Don to that extent. It shocked me. It shocked me, mate. I can tell you, hand on my heart, Don is the only person that I've worked with that, for me, has given me the proof.
Okay, so there, obviously I was hit by something. At the time, I didn't have a clue what it was about or a clue what it was. What I did know is it totally knocked me for six. At this point, I would like to speak about not a spirit guide. Through my investigations, I did actually, well, she introduced herself as Becky. Becky's been very prevalent in my line of work and everything we've done now for a few years. It is through Becky that I found out what this was. It's through Becky that I found out how to use it, how to utilise it. Okay, so that there was just a claim, okay, Don's been hit by something. It doesn't really show you anything, does it? It's just a guy going, wow, what was that? Doesn't mean a great deal. Becky helped me. That was actually spirit energy being directed straight towards me, okay? Becky, and well, she kind of, how can I put it, taught is a bit of a strange word. Through Becky, I learned how to manipulate and use this energy. Okay, here's one example. This is, sometime later, I've been getting more and more of these, I call them blasts, but I learned to absorb this energy rather than just what was that. I learned to absorb it, I learned to project it, and here's one example of, this is sometime later now, it's the same energy, okay, and this is where we're starting to go with it. Can we run Rod 1, please?
Steve? No, yes, it's just mate, what we're doing.
Yeah, I want to conduct a quick test now. It's a demonstration of how these rods can sometimes be influenced by unknown means.
At this point, I learned how to use it, but I was still finding it very hard to do in actually forcing it out. Okay.
皆さん、手動かしてないですよね。
Well, still, you're not necessarily moving your hands now, are you?
No, I'm not moving my hands. My hands are at 90 degrees. Yeah. I can't influence them because my hands are in the tubes, they're not touching the wires.
先ほどお見せしましたけれども、私の手はガラスのこの筒を持っているだけで、このワイヤーに全く触れていません。だから動きに影響を出すことはできないです。
these rods, dowsing rods, have little tubes on them. Reason being is that when you hold the tube, you cannot influence the movement of the rods. So I can turn my hand and it doesn't turn the rod. You hold them close to you, keep them at 90 degrees.
Okay, so sometime later, the more I do this, the stronger I got, and the easier it became. This is, again with the rods, it's an experiment in a cellar in a haunted location. That should start in a moment, but you'll see it's far easier and I've got a lot more control.
That when you hold the tube, you cannot influence the movement of the rods. So I can turn my hand and it doesn't turn the rod. I can't influence them because my hands are in the tubes, they're not touching the wires.
Okay, so obviously there's a progression there from previously.
Don Phillips' reputation.
Okay, so again, the more I do it, the stronger I got over time. Now the thing is, I cannot do anything unless there's spiritual energy present. Nothing will happen. I can try as hard as I want to manipulate the rods or anything, and nothing's going to happen. As you should see in the next clip. But as I said to you, through Becky and my relationships with these spirit people, I learned to absorb this energy, hold it, and really project it. So you might find this next clip, well, you'll find it quite a contrast how far we moved on, even from the last two. This will explain what's happening at the beginning where there's nothing happening. Becky said, I could feel a build-up of energy. Now, it was a portal. The portals are absolutely totally real, and believe it or not, I've got a photograph to show you at some point. I've got a photograph of a real spirit portal. There's a build of energy, I knew that one was coming up. I said, Becky, if there's a portal about to open, can you say the word portal? Another investigator called Cassandra's, he got his parabolic microphone on. He heard her say, portal. When it opened, I got this massive burst of energy and all hell let loose. So can we now run rods too, please? Okay, so here, same experiment, there's no spirit energy there at all. Okay? So I'm trying the same thing with absolutely zero effect. As you can see, that's pretty much what you'd expect, okay? Then, well, let's explain itself.
Just managed to catch something quite interesting on camera because Don's actually declared that he could feel something happening. Got Steve to get on with the demanding rods very, very quickly and moved towards them. I've never seen anything like this. It's as if they flew back from it.
You see how that it's energy, doesn't it? I just felt so pumped, I felt a little horrible.
Oh, geez.
Well, as I said, the rods were in my hand, I wasn't moving them, they were flying all over the place. Don seemed to be manipulating the rods. How? I have no idea how that was happening. But he did say that there was something about this energy that something was actually going to happen. At that moment in time, Chris, who stood next to me, who was on the paranormal microphone, and he's listening intensively while Don claims to be saying, asking Becky, you know, Becky, is there a portal? And if there is, can you please say portal? And of course, all of a sudden, Chris throws his earphones off him and said, yeah, I've just heard a female voice say portal. And of course, we suddenly told Chris, well, Don hasn't played anything back on the recording as yet. It would seem that Chris has heard something as it happened and believed it was the words portal from a female voice.
Yeah, as Don was asking for the communication for the word portal, and as Steve was correctly saying there, I had the parabolic microphone on, as Steve was saying, and I heard a female voice, a human voice, very close to me, in my ear, the word portal. Straight away, the unusual thing with it as well, I think, at the same time, not just the voice, but it was the spread of emotion. I've never encountered anything like that before. The emotion was overwhelming. The voice was there, it was real time, I heard it, it was distinctive, but the emotion, it was bewildering. I couldn't comprehend the emotion. My eyes started to fill up, and I'm not that type of person, but I'm not like it's kind of rationalise it.
Okay, so obviously there's a big difference there from when I started working with energy. Anybody got any questions right now? No? Yes?
When you're working and condensing the energy, what are you thinking?
I'm not thinking anything. It's instinctive. I can feel through my whole body. I've learned how to project it in a certain way.
Do you spend some time prior to doing this in lighting or protecting yourself?
No. Now the thing is, I have zero control. I can manipulate it, I can use it, I can take a big hit now. I can use it, but I have no control when that's going to happen. Earlier, we was just walking down the corridor earlier, and I got a massive hit of energy. And when that happened, believe me, I started puffing pants and everything, and I just walked out where everybody said they couldn't see, because I think, what's wrong with this guy? This guy's a little bit weird. So, okay, so what have we got now? We've got this strange guy that's, okay, so you do this with the rods, well, great, it's entertaining now. You got to that stage, so that was pretty good, wasn't it? Okay. And what? What's the point? There's got to be more point to it than that, yeah? I was talking to Becky a short time afterwards, and I was asking her questions. Apologise for the voice again, people. Okay. And the line of questioning was about healing. I said, Becky, these spiritual healers, do they do the healing, or is it through you guys? I was researching, that's what I was doing. And Becky says, you can. You can? Wow. Okay. What? I can heal? Okay, I was sceptical. Although, I've got to say, Becky's never been wrong about anything she's ever told me over the years. In fact, I've pretty much run a lot of my life by her, what she advises me. And I thought, how does this work? How do you just think, yeah, I'm going to heal people? What do you do? Just get a stranger and say, hey, I can just put my hands on you? Bit freaky that, yeah. What I didn't know is, this would automatically... Sorry, can you just get me water off the bat there? Well, I had no idea how to heal. I didn't know if it was possible. I'm like, okay, the energy thing's fantastic, but yeah, I was a bit confused at that point. What Becky didn't tell me. Here we go. Before I start sounding like a Dalek. I think I'm on my way already, I know. What she didn't tell me, what I didn't realise is this would automatically be there when I needed it to. Okay. I didn't have to, thank you, sweetheart. That's Patty, that's my fiancée, she's great. I didn't have to learn how to heal anything, I didn't have to do any research, it just happened. And I found out by accident. Like many people, we had a cat, this cat liked mice, it was being mice in. At the time we got the mice in, it was either beheaded or totally dead. This one particular time, now bearing in mind, I know what this energy feels like now when it starts, okay? I'm quite familiar with that. My daughter brought a mouse, she says, Daddy, the cat's killed a mouse. This mouse was, thank you. This mouse must have been so close to death, it was very lukewarm, and it was to the point that the fleas were leaving its body, and as you know, if that happens, that's generally game over. Okay. It was also looking very, very, very manky. For some reason, I put it in my hand. While I'm holding my hand, I felt this energy building up, and I put my hand over it. There's no sound in this clip at the beginning because I started puffing and panting, making strange noises because the energy is very, very strong. What happened then shocked me, which it probably will you. Now, there was this mouse, there was another mouse, and then I progressed on from mice to animals and eventually people. So, can we run? This is the first time. Is the one there that's called mouse? See if it's the right one. Yes. Okay, so you'll take that from this, the condition of this mouse. Can you just pause that for 1 second? The condition of this mouse prior to me doing what I'm doing, and also quite prevalent through all these things, whether it's birds, whether it's mice or whatever. When I've done what I've done and they appear to be healed, or certainly feel a hell of a lot better, they don't seem to know where they are or what they are. It seems to take a few seconds for them to suddenly like, I shouldn't be here, and the mouse is trying to run off and everything gets bright to that. It's just sitting there very, very quietly. It suddenly gets this realisation, why am I sitting in this dude's hand? Okay, so this is what's going to happen on this one, as you'll see. Okay, you can see there, it doesn't look particularly good, does it? Okay. Instinctively put my hand over, I felt this energy start building up. And interestingly, it always seems to be for about 45 seconds each time. All this time I've got this energy just flowing through me, okay? Then I felt it move. Oh, that was actually 1.5 minutes, okay. This mouse is now in absolutely pristine condition. At this point, it doesn't know where it is. It's conscious, it's got its eyes open, it's just sitting there. Like, oh, this is nice. Okay? So that's it now. And you can see by its fur now, it's all nice, it's all nice and shiny. That's from before. Then it suddenly realises he's a mouse and he shouldn't be there. And just start stroking him as he comes round. Oh, there we go. So that's that same mouse, which was not looking good, just a minute and a half earlier. Okay, that was interesting. So, again, a few days later another mouse came through the door. This is some fella now, off to work. There he is. Oh, but he's away. Okay. So it's just before and after.
So we've got another.
This is the second mouse. We're not doing an evening of mice people, but this is just a few days later. What I wanted to show you is the same thing when they come round afterwards. There's a few seconds where they don't seem to realise where they are or what's happening. This clip's almost done. There he is, he's sitting there. That's a wild mouse. You don't know where he is, does he? It's just... This is just a couple of my YouTube clips I've put in for today. Still coming around. Okay, another happy ending. We like happy endings, don't we? Yeah, we do. There we go.
She's jumped out.
She did ring me up the mouse in the following day with no hair. My daughter, she's only small at that point. Emma, I think that might be pushing it, so we didn't even try with that one. There we go. Okay. So you can see there's a gradual progression in this story from me getting that initial hit, learning what it was, learning to manipulate it, getting stronger and stronger, and actually then realising I put this to good use. At this point, I don't know how this works. I still don't know how it works now. Okay. Then, excuse me. I progressed on from mice, from rods to mice, to crows. Can we run the crow clip? Dog found a crow which, I'm not going to say dead, because I don't want people to think I'm bringing things back from the dead, because that might not go down too well either. So what I'm going to say is, it didn't look good. Okay, again, it was getting nearly, it was cold. This is obviously a wild crow. They don't just lay there like this, if, you know, they're okay. And so I thought at that time, okay, the mouse works. Let's try this crow. Yeah. Any questions right now? Anybody? No? It was supposed to be our same length of time again. You see, it's one thing to be able to claim or think that you're hearing something, but when you can see something so visually apparent, then that makes it a lot more interesting, doesn't it? Sorry? It's just there when I need it. It just begins. I feel it building up, and I can feel it starting. And then I just wait for it to happen. Okay. Okay. I mean, he's up now. He's just sitting there. He's got his eyes open. You'll see that in a moment. I mean, these are wild animals, you know, and you know the thing is, unlike people, you can't, it's not a placebo, you can't convince an animal it's suddenly feeling better, can you? You know? Again, you still don't know where he is, just like the tree, just like the mice did, and ultimately you have this realisation, I shouldn't be here, as you'll see in a moment.
Looking a bit better. Go on. Look a bit more like me. Oh, wait, oh.
There we go, now it's coming round. But isn't it interesting, they all seem to have this little period where they don't know what's happening or where they are.
Look at you. Oh, that's that.
Now that's a happy, much happier looking fellow. Again, I get a lot out of this, obviously, because it's a wonderful thing to be able to do. How far can we push this? What's the limitations of this? Mice, crows, what's next? Obviously something a little bit bigger. So, I was shooting the documentary at Brookdale Lodge. I haven't got the footage of this. Me and Patty went into the store, and there's a guy there called Hank, brilliant guy, the old creepy janitor, you wouldn't mind me saying that, would he? And I looked, and on his couch, he's got a little dog sitting there, and he's just sitting there, and he's just going. That's all he's doing. I said, Hank, what the hell's wrong with your dog? Yeah, the dog had a stroke, basically. So I thought, okay, so I just bent down, stroking, I could feel the energy again. Patty could see what was happening. I was like, within 1.5 minutes, that dog was running around the store like there was nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and it'd been like that all day. The vet couldn't account for its miraculous recovery. Again, so that's a major thing. Then because of that, Jennifer, where's Jen? Come up here. You can talk, I need a break, I'm ready. So Jennifer had, oh that's actually the wrong clip, but you can come up here anyway. Okay, so we'll put you to one side for a second. Okay. So this is another dog. At this point, actually, we're going to see Jennifer's husband. Now, this was a major deal for me. I'm going to jump backwards and forwards on this clip. He got a very bad heart condition, and that obviously is very, very serious, and it's not something you want to be messing about with, is it? So I did some stuff to Bob, which was quite interesting, wasn't it? After that, Tim turned up with his dog. I thought, oh my God, we've got an open surgery going on. Very, very bad liver, very poorly, very lethargic, in pain, not happy. So these clips, some of these are out of focus. He said, will you try it, Don? I said, yeah, okay, you know what, I will try that. I wasn't convinced about this initially because I'd done it after I'd just done some stuff with Bob. And I feel really drained afterwards, I really do. So this is just a little bit of clip with, first of all, Tim and his dog. If you just want to run that for me. I said to Becky after this, did we heal the dog? No, we didn't heal it, we took away its pain. And that's something I'll talk about in a moment.
And I've never done one after another, either. As well.
I can't do anything until the engine stops, so I started on the dog. Nothing was happening. I said to him, I'm sorry, I can't do anything, there was nothing there. And I went to walk away, and boom, there we were. So, remember? So we just pounced on his dog, and well, it was like a little puppy after that, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for the energy to kick in. Okay.
This dog was like this at the house for at least 2 hours. Didn't do anything, just like.
At this point, I'm saying to Tim, I'm sorry.
I've got to be honest with you, there's no point in pretending, because we want results. All right. Absolutely.
I said I'll come back in a few minutes and try, and then. But you can see my face, it puts a lot of stress on me when I'm doing this as well. Okay. Again, you can't convince an animal that it's feeling well. Already they look quite happy, isn't he? A lot happy. Tail wagging.
When he was done, he was like a puppy.
Mm. Oh yeah, and she was a service dog as well. But this only lasts a certain length of time. I haven't just so long, it just totally dissipates. When it dissipates, I'm done. Okay?
I'm hoping, little pal, that might make a little bit of a difference, but I won't tell. I know.
Wow, what a puppy.
Tension now.
How you feeling, buddy? How you feeling?
Okay, so that's no longer a dog in pain, that's a happy dog. Okay. It's important because I still don't know how this works, and I don't know if we healed whatever it was, and it's like I said, you would just take away its pain, and we just took to take away its pain, and the dog obviously thinks it's absolutely fine, but it's not, it's still got the same condition. So, is that wonderful? Then, actually it was prior to that, oh hold on.
You were working with Bob. I mean, he was laying over there. He wasn't being engaged or anything like that. At this point, he's been bouncing around doing the play bow. He was doing some barking with Jen, which he doesn't normally do unless he's commanded to do. So it's a different dog right now.
I don't know if you spell it, if that's how you spell it, but it's not. No, I didn't think you would. Okay, so just pause that a second. Hello. Okay, just pause it. So this is Cheyenne. Now, from what I understand and what you told me, Cheyenne should not be walking at all on four legs because, well, you can actually explain what's happened.
She tore her.
Hold on, come closer.
She tore her CCL, and so the doctors told her with her age she couldn't have the surgery. So she would basically be walking on three legs for the rest of her life because she's almost 14 now.
Okay. So, having heard of what I did at the Brookdale Lodge with Hank's dog, he said we come and have a go at Cheyenne, didn't you? So that's what we did. Okay, can we run that?
You could go.
Okay, so this is afterwards. I mean, this is it was prior to this. But
So this is Cheyenne, and last time we came to see Cheyenne, do you want to just pop in here, sir? Come on, bend down.
Cheyenne, not the kid.
the vet said that should not be possible with the condition
I've
she's
seen
got.
Cheyenne before. Problem was she didn't walk
I
three
think
legs.
that to
so
this day
we
she's
sat
still
right
walking that
here.
way. She had a torn cruciate ligament.
She had a what?
Torn cruciate ligament.
Can we turn the sound off?
Ligament.
And she's too old to do surgery.
Turn the volume off.
That was actually more significant then, wasn't it?
Because now she's walking with it.
Now she.
When it's torn, they won't put any pressure on it, and now she's putting pressure on it. Can you bring her back?
I'm trying.
So just get this right. It's still torn, but now she's putting pressure on it.
Yeah, so she's walking with it, so she's learning to live with the tear.
Do you know ordinarily she wouldn't be walking on it with that tear? She would be like this all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite.
Like she was when you got her.
When I first-
She was bouncing around three legs. Call her lucky.
That was an amazing difference when I was somewhere and I came back. Because before she was old.
It was right up here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was that instant, wasn't it?
And when you
Afterwards-
did it, she was putting pressure on your hand.
Well, I just put my hand underneath.
Cheyenne.
I feel I put
Yeah.
her foot down. So, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, it was a doctor. It was Jim.
Come here.
Jim was here. She's still not putting mud on, but she's putting her weight on. So sorry, I was so amazed watching him. I forgot to video. When he did it, she was putting pressure on his hand when he did it.
Because like you say, she was walking around like a tripod before that. And then when I came back, she was walking on it, fine on it.
But medically, even now, she should not be walking on top of on all fours.
Right. Absolutely, with the damage, you know.
And that's what the vet said. She should not be walking on three legs.
Yes. Unless she gets surgery.
Very, very significant.
Absolutely.
She's too old for the surgery.
She's too old for the surgery.
Right.
She's 14 now. Look at her at 14.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Not pretty good.
So it's been an interesting day.
That was just afterwards. That's literally just as soon as I'd finished. She's still got a slight limp, obviously, but there's a distinct difference between slight limp and a dog walking on three legs like this. Okay, so again, that's really fantastic. Okay. Where are you going? Did I tell you could go? Okay. Any questions? Yes?
I noticed the first dog was turned around and looked at you while you were doing this.
They feel it. They do feel it, yeah.
And he had a look of trust in his eyes, kind of question and then trust. And you could tell you were doing something.
The animals seem to feel what's happening, and it must be very soothing for them, because before we had a wild crow. These are wild animals, wild mice. They don't sit there while you're doing that. The first chance they get, hey, we're out of here. So there's this kind of period, always seems to be the same amount of time, where I don't know what it is. They just seem to, whatever's happening during what I'm doing, they start to come out of it. You know. So again, interesting. Okay. Jennifer, I'm so seriously going to sack you right now. Where are you going? Do you know what? The animals are... Okay, so in between that, obviously, can you just talk about Bob? We've already spoken to Bob, so we've got his permission. He's quite happy to put this forward. So Bob's had a pretty bad heart condition. Okay, can you just explain to the audience?
He's AFib.
Can you hear?
Okay. Yeah, go on the other side. Go on the other side.
Come around the other side. Okay.
Okay, so he has AFib. That's good. And yeah, and we just learned about it when Dawn had come by. And so we were still working with trying to get the heart and the blood pressure down and all that. So I was checking his heart daily and blood pressure a couple times a day. And when Dawn came by, we checked the blood pressure, and it was really high, and his heart rate was really high.
The hospital couldn't get it below 100 after trying for how long? Because this guy could have a heart attack any time because it's equivalent.
Because we weren't on medications or anything. We had just learned about it, and you worked with him for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but he also felt, what's the pain that he felt there? What was that pain?
Fluid in his lungs.
Fluid in his lungs. So, no, this is different. Okay, we've done rods, we've done mice, we've done crows, we've done birds. My God, how do I feel about this? This is a person. Now, it's the sort of thing I wanted to try, but I had difficulty, and I never went to approach him and say, excuse me, can I just try this? Because you feel a little bit weird about that kind of thing. But when Jennifer approached me, I gave it some thought. I said, you know what, okay, let's try and do this. Now, which clip is that on? Have we got one called Bob? Bob. There he is.
Now, Bob is a retired firefighter after 32 years. He just retired.
Okay, Bob. Can we say try and help you? Right. Doing what I do, which is what we're into right at the moment. So what's the actual condition is it that we're aiming to do something about or help here?
It's called atrial fibrillation.
Atrial fibrillation, okay, and that is?
Basically, my understanding is the top chamber of my heart basically is kind of quivering.
Right.
And it doesn't pump the blood properly.
Irregular pattern?
Yes.
Okay, I spoke to Jennifer, I think she said it was going up all the time. So, like, after you had exercised, yours would be doing that even though it's not exercise, just going fast. So, why we're doing what we're doing, if you can actually feel anything changing, if you can just vocalise that and just say, you're feeling this or you're feeling that.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. So I don't know if it's been successful, but all we can do is try. Okay. So what we're trying to do is get your heart into a regular beating pattern.
I am in AFib, which they say I still am.
Right.
They have trouble getting the blood pressure. It just won't.
Really?
Yeah, it won't
okay.
Capture it.
Can we set that up?
It's high. Your pulse is 153.
Yeah.
Well, that was the average. 125. So anything over 110, just resting.
My blood pressure is really 125.
But that's why it's pulse is
It's on medication,
125.
but the pulse is really high. And that means it's beating really fast. So what it is the electrodes in the top of his heart, the left and right side get damaged. So
right.
both sides.
So if we try our thing and take it again and the pulse rate's down,
that would
suggest that something's actually happened. So when this is really bad, how do you actually feel it yourself?
Usually what I feel is more abdominal pain. Originally I thought that was just my lungs filling up with fluid.
Okay.
Because I was having some difficulty breathing because of it. But I just feel tired,
fatigue?
Yeah, fatigue, just because the heart's not very proper.
Okay. So like I said, it's very experimental. I don't know whether or not, but I'm quite happy to sort of give it a go. So we'll try it in a few moments.
Okay, sounds good.
No problem.
Thank you.
Well, you would have heard that at that point there came a picture of a voice that said, I can help him. Now, did that mean help Bob, or did that mean help me to help Bob? And when I get this energy, I do get pumped pretty quick. No, you won't hear that either. I think part of it as well is, whether it's an animal or a person, compassion is a very strong feeling, and you need to be feeling that while you're doing what you're doing, you know.
Would you repeat that?
So compassion is a very strong feeling, very, very emotive, and I think it's important that you're feeling that you do actually care as you're doing this, whether you be an animal or a person. You're feeling total compassion to other people, for that person or animal.
It sounds better. It's fast.
So we've gone from 125 to 103 after the first attempt, so I think we should try that again to get down more than that. I bet it's still irregular. This was after the second. So Bob, how are you feeling right now?
Better than it was before we started.
You're beating up.
Yeah. So it beats
Sounds normal.
So at that point, Jennifer just said that's being normal. So now we take the reading. So we're from 125 to 103 to 95.
90.
90.
Can I get a better? 68 is his pulse right now. 68.
68. For the first time,
That is like-
it's got below 100. We're on 68.
Really good.
I'm getting used to looking now, but I actually want to say this because I don't think we need to do that at this time. I'm going to try that also out first. And also the pain that he had here with the fluid, that also disappeared as well. And now he's at 68, so how's that make you feel?
Really good.
Yeah?
That's a normal heartbeat.
Yeah.
Should be.
It's much better than mine. Good stuff. Giving some of this on me. So during that, could you actually feel anything taking place? Because if you recall, I didn't say, can you feel it? I bet you can feel it going. That's the thing, I made sure there's no suggestion. I bet you feel better, can you feel this, can you feel that? I didn't want that to be accused of that while I was doing it.
You know, regardless of what happens tomorrow, what we've shown is something's happened. Whether it's permanent, whether it's temporary, I don't know. But what I will say of the animals, well, yours, that has all been permanent. So I'm hoping.
I'm open too.
Okay, now it's important to mention at this point, days after that, Bob reverted back to his prior condition. The reason for that being is, and just as with some of the animals, you can take away the symptom, but not necessarily, I'm not claiming to heal what's causing it, okay? I got Bob's heart rate, basically, my intention was to get it in with mine. Now the problem is, okay, this fluid went and everything, that's fine, but you've still got the underlying cause, what's causing the problem, even if you can heal the symptom of the problem. The cause is still there. Okay, so unfortunately, Bob, it did revert back, but since then he has now had some treatment, hasn't he?
Yes, we were shocked 3
Yeah.
days ago.
They shocked him 3 days ago.
Now he's back in a normal sinus rhythm.
And now, Bob's...
But what Don did that day was to get his heart rate and his blood pressure down.
Use your mic. Can you use your microphone?
Okay. What Don did that day was he got his blood pressure down and his heart rate down, which helped with what the heart was doing was damaging. And so by bringing that down, he actually prolonged the inevitable, it happening and a heart attack or a stroke.
But when you can show, on all these examples, when you can show something so apparently clear before and after. Okay, so any questions on that? What do you think? Pretty good? Interesting?
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yep. Okay. So, anyway. Demons in Seattle Uncovered, excuse me. The reason it was titled that is because obviously the original series by Ghost Adventures called Demons in Seattle. So that's why I made mine Demons in Seattle Uncovered. The good news is the full documentary is on YouTube. I've just released it publicly. It's about an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, and I think you'll find it most intriguing. Now, I was going to see if maybe we could run this for anyone interested after the event today, so I might see if that's still possible. Okay, if anyone might be interested in that. Okay, so we're nearly out of time. What I will say, like I said, I'm a producer, director, obviously you know what I do. Now for me, there's a lot of shows on TV, paranormal shows, and quite often they don't represent true life, they don't. You know, there's a lot of showmanship, there's a lot of not for entertainment purposes only, for entertainment purposes only and everything. So I'm currently making a series called American Supernatural Uncovered, which involves me with a much better voice and some of my colleagues traveling around America investigating cases. I think it's time people, and no disrespect to anybody, but there's a lot of shows out there, some good, some bad, like Investigators, some good and some bad. And the truth sometimes embellished. I think it's time that everybody could see something that they could actually believe in, that wasn't about ratings, that wasn't about showmanship. You know, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I like a lot of people years ago, I used to watch the ghost shows, and do you know, there's a lot of people who call fake and stuff and everything, and it's damaged the topic and the subject very badly. It's damaged. You know, if you, sorry, what's your name? What's your name? Sorry? Sean. Okay. So if you had a paranormal experience in your house and you told people, you know, chances are most people won't believe it. You know, it damages the reputation of the subject. It damages, well, just the whole topic is so contaminated and damaged, and the waters have been so murkied over the years. I want to bring some credibility back into the subject. Okay, so that's what American Supernatural Uncovered is all about. We've shot about 4 or 5 episodes now. We've got another 1 or 2 to do, and then we will be putting that out, pitching it for broadcast. So that's something for you to look forward to in the future. Something that you can actually believe is happening, something that's real, and something that's not about smoke and mirrors. Okay. Right, I will just very quickly say that if you want to see more of my work, I've got 2 channels on YouTube. One's called Don Phillips, and the other one's called The Supernatural Files, which is the main channel, which will be starting up again, well, in the new year, but there's some good cases, some good evidence on there already, so feel free to subscribe and watch The Supernatural Files, okay? I'm on Facebook, etc., etc., if you want to find me. Anybody who wants to speak to me, ask me any questions after, that's fine. Right now, I just want to thank you all for your attention and everything, okay? Because I think I'm done, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, Don Phillips.